Hold on, I'm gonna take off my sweater. This wine has got me a little warm and we're getting excited. And it's Friday. Cheers. Okay. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about self-care, self-love, loving yourself. I may have had a little bit of wine, but it's Friday and I just launched my first YouTube video, so I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. I'm really jazzed. I'm really excited. But that is not what this video is about. Today, I want to show you some ways to self-care while in quarantine. Because as I'm sure all of you know, our lovely world provided us with a lovely virus named COVID-19. And by that I mean sarcasm. I hope you caught that. But yeah, so not so lovely, not so great, but it does give us, kind of a silver lining or a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways, because it gives us some time, with this, I personally live in Ohio, so with the stay at home, what is it called? What is it called? Shelter in place. Because we have the shelter in place here in Ohio, we definitely are balancing, our mental health with the fact that we're trying to keep the world safe, we're trying to keep others safe, so we're staying home. It's very important. But there are, it's important to remember, whether you have to work from home, if you have to take care of your pets, take care of your family, clean. I've been doing a lot of cleaning, which is actually good for your mental health. We'll get there. But, there's a lot of things you need to do to make sure you're taking care of yourself during this time, because it's really easy to get really anxious, to get really worried, to get really sucked up in social media and the stories and the worry and false news, all that good stuff. Well, all that bad stuff. So I really wanted to just sit here today and give you a couple tips on how to self-care while in quarantine. Feel free to grab yourself a little snack. Enjoy this video. I hope it gives you some uplifting, happy vibes in this time of, bleh. And we won't even really touch on that too much. I can make a whole other video kind of regarding my thoughts on the COVID-19 situation and how I'm coping with that. But this video is going to be happy and uplifting and exciting. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's get into it. So one of the first ways that I have been self-caring, like it's an adjective or a verb or whatever, but one of the ways that I've been self-caring in this past week of being self-quarantined is really trying to meditate. And I know this is a word that everyone hears and they're like, oh yeah, I'll do that. But then they never do it because it has a connotation that tends to be really either really hippie oriented, or on the flip side, it's very just overwhelming and seems impossible. A lot of people, I think, when they hear the word meditation, they think, oh, you have to clear your mind. Well, how in the fuck am I gonna clear my mind right now with all of this shit going on, all this shit on social media, blah, blah, blah. That is not what meditation is about. And maybe that's what it is to you, and that's totally fine. But for me, and for how I've been taught meditation with my mental health professionals and stuff like that, it's really important to not judge the thoughts that come into your mind while you're creating that time and space to have that peace and quiet and solitude and ability to just reflect and look inward instead of looking outward. Which you can have meditations where you do look outward, where you look out a window or focus on an object in front of you or whatever. But I tend to like the ones where you reflect inward, because I think they can be a lot more, they can be a lot more cleansing and a lot more relaxing. And the most important part of meditating, regardless of the style that you meditate, is to not judge thoughts that are coming into your head. So when you're sitting there and you're picturing yourself in a meadow or wherever, for me, I always picture myself with rain. I play rain sounds and I feel rain around me, but I always feel like I have this barrier all around my body where the rain can't get me wet, but I can hear it and I can kind of feel it and take it in. And when I open my eyes, you know, when I look at my space in my mind, I can see like the water washing over me. So it's very like calming. But wherever that space is for you, you have to create that yourself. You have to let yourself kind of find that space in your brain and your mind. And once you do, it's really important that when those thoughts start to creep in and all those things, you don't push them out, you don't resent them, you don't get angry at them. Hold on, I'm gonna take off my sweater. This wine has got me a little warm and we're getting excited. And it's Friday. Cheers. But what's really important is to not judge those thoughts. And you can even let them kind of creep in. Let them wash over you, let yourself feel that emotion that comes with that thought. But then kind of like release it back out, kind of let it go, let it wash over you, let it hang for a second, and then, you know, remind yourself, bring yourself. I think the most important thing for me when I feel a thought coming and I let it kind of wash over me, I bring it back to my breath or my body. I'll be like, okay, we're going to focus on our feet, or we're going to focus on our belly, or we're going to focus on our chest. Like, focus your energy and your mind on an area of your body or breathing. Like, bring it back to your body. So you ground yourself and you remember what you're here to do, which is to ground yourself and to feel relaxed. It's very important to breathe the whole time. And deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And it could be you sitting in a corner of your room. I personally am a little dorky and I like to, I'm not dorky, but you know, I'm a little spiritual. So I like to lay out my yoga mat, do some stretching and kind of relax my body, lay out crystals. Sometimes I do oracle deck readings. I would really love to get into tarot. So if anyone knows anything about tarot and would like to, give me more info on that, we could have a talk about that. I would love it. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do because it makes it feel kind of ritualistic, and it feels very connected to my spirituality and to, kind of, you know, the inner workings of my brain and kind of where I'm trying to place myself in the world so that I can uplift myself and make my, aspirations, manifestations, whatever you want to call them, make it all come true. So for me, it's very spiritual. It's very like, spiritually guided. There's also all different types of meditation. If you're into image guided meditation, where they kind of describe an image to you, describe a space. There's one that my therapist told me about. Is I can't remember the exact word. It starts with an R. Rejuvenating, revitalize, I don't know, one of those words. But basically they say positive affirmations, that you can find these on YouTube and all kinds of places, but it basically like says positive affirmations to you, and then, you know, you kind of sink into it, and then you're hearing those affirmations, you're hearing those positive things, and it's kind of like cleansing. Excuse me, this wine is making me burp. It's cleansing, it makes you feel good. So that's also an option. There's so many different types of meditations, guided meditations that are on YouTube. Just find one that you like, or find a couple that you like, try them out. You might find out, okay, guided imagery is not my thing, like totally cool. Figure out what you like. I'm still really new to the meditation world. I've been meditating probably for the past like 3 or 4 years, but I've just recently gotten to a place where I feel like my meditations are really starting to take off and really starting to like become more spiritual and become more like succinct with what I'm trying to get out of a meditation, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is my first tip, is meditate. Meditation, very important. Okay, my hair is looking a mess. Tip number 2, I know that some people are gonna be like, shut up, lady, but get ready. So like today, for example, I actually got up, I showered, I did my hair, I did my makeup. I put on like a real shirt. Mind you, I don't have jeans on because I'm not going to tell you to go put jeans on. That's stupid. And I don't have a bra on, so no judgment there. But, you know, put makeup on, put effort into it a little bit. Like, show up for yourself, even though you're going to be at home. Many people will not see you. You may go outside or something, but it's just nice. Like for me personally, I like to put on a cute top or like a cute hoodie, do my makeup, do my hair, it just makes me feel good, throw on some earrings like I have on today. And then you can take it a step further and, you know, take some photos, have your friend or your whoever is your quarantine buddy, take some pictures of you outside, you know, if you want to get some fresh air, which we'll get to that. But it's really good to like kind of get ready. For me, I found that it makes me feel like really, I don't know, like part of more of a routine. So if you do it every day, it's probably really good. I've not been doing it every day, I won't lie to you. Some days I'm like, I'm gonna sit in my PJs all day because that's the vibe. Every once in a while, that is definitely the vibe. I'm gonna drink some wine. Yes, so getting ready. Tip 2. Pretty easy stuff, but I know it can be hard. It's easy to just sit in your PJs, or I wear a nightgown. I'm one of those old school people. I like have like a nightgown, not like, you know, like a lacy one or something. No offense if somebody has a lacy nightgown, but I have like one of those like t-shirt nightgowns, and I have to like get myself out of that because that's definitely like nighttime brain when I have that on. So yeah, that's my tip number dos. Oh, Kurt. Tip numero 3. Tip number 3. This one's pretty friggin' simple. It's go outside. Go outside, get fresh air, even if it's just sitting on a porch, sitting on a front step, sitting outside in your city or wherever you are. Go outside, get some fresh air. Even if you don't live in a spot where you get to, you know, see trees and stuff and you're just seeing houses and streets and yeah, whatever. Still go outside. The reason that this is super, super important is because it is proven, scientifically proven, that if you go outside once a day, that you are typically going to be a happier person. You can look it up yourself. But also it helps because you need that fresh air. You need to remind yourself that you live in a world, you know, there's more outside of your home than just this. Like there's more than your, you know, 4 walls or whatever. It's good to go outside. It's good to get fresh air. Go on a walk. I know with Ohio, our shelter in place allows us to be able to drive to parks because it's technically, what's the word? Like it's necessary or whatever because it's like for getting exercise and whatnot. So you can drive to parks. We haven't been that motivated to drive to parks because we like going on walks around here and then we don't have to deal with like if there are cops stopping people or anything. I don't know if that is a thing, but let me know if you've had experience with that in Ohio. Excuse me. Oh, goddamn. It's the wine. It's you. But yeah, so definitely try to get outside if you can. I, for one, think that going outside has helped me a lot. It's kind of hard sometimes. You just want to stay inside and you're like, no, I don't want to see the world. But Sarah will be like, Kylie, let's go outside. Let's take a walk. Let's get out of this space. Because I personally, like, I kind of like get a little crazy about my space and like it being, everything being in its place and all that. So it's like good for me to step outside of this world that I've created and, you know, and the stuffy air in here and just go outside, breathe some real air, you know, walk around, get some exercise, move your body a little bit, do yoga outside. I've been wanting to do that. And this quarantine is still going on. I will probably get out to a park and do some yoga. If you have a dog, go on walks with your dog. I wish I had a dog, so I'm jealous if you do. I have cats. We're trying to harness train them, but that's a little difficult. If you have a cat, you know what I mean. But yes, that is tip numero 3. Tip number 4. This one is also good, also hard. Specifically for me, it's been difficult. So I would suggest moving your body. So we just talked about going outside, going on walks, doing yoga, that's the kind of thing. But this specifically is to move your body. And you do not have to go outside to move your body. You can do yoga in your bedroom. I personally do yoga in my bedroom. You can do different at-home workouts. I know YouTube has home workouts all over the place that you can find. But moving your body in some way that feels good. Dance around your room. I do this all the time. I turn on music and just dance in front of my mirror and like do my thing and just like feel good. And it also like makes you happy because you get some endorphins going. But moving your body is really important. This can definitely be hard if you have some kind of trauma regarding like working out, or like the strict terms of working out that everyone thinks, or like gym anxiety and that kind of thing. But luckily we're in quarantine, so you can't go to a gym, you can't go be in a 5K or anything like that, but you can work out in your home and feel good moving your body on your own. We've been doing walks, we've been doing yoga. Yoga is also good to go hand in hand with that tip number 1, which is meditation. You can yoga, then meditate. It kind of rolls into one another really easily, and then you're busting out 2 self-care hacks in one. So obviously, but yes, moving your body, you can do this in your house. You can do it wherever you have an open, like majority open space. Play with your animals inside. Do some push-ups, do a push-up challenge. I know everyone's been tagging memes like saying like push-up challenge, blah, 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 which I'm not a push-up girl. No. I like yoga. It still gets a lot of upper body, and it's relaxing, and it kind of connects you with your body, and it kind of connects you with your spirituality and all that stuff. So that's why what I personally choose is yoga, and then getting cardio from going on walks. But yes, move your body. I know we all hear it, but it's just good. It keeps your circulation going, so you're not just sitting on the couch or sitting wherever and just like not moving, not feeling motivated, and you'll get stuck in a slump really easily. So move somehow. At least once a day, move your butt. Move your butt a lot. I do laundry, I have to go up and down stairs. That's moving my butt. Something. Move your butt. Don't get stuck in a depression. Oh, I got it. Okay. Still itchy. It's probably a cat hair because they're freaking everywhere. Okay. Tip number 5. Do what makes you happy. What makes you feel good. So for me, I like to paint. So I need to paint more. It's very important. We have all this, I apologize to an inanimate object just now. Anyway, it's important to do what makes you happy. So if that is, playing on your guitar, playing Guitar Hero, playing some video games. I'm sitting in Sarah's video game room right now. Also in my painting room, it's like our little hobby room. So painting is really good. This also can like kind of roll into another kind of tip, but like looking in the mirror and like saying positive affirmations, anything to make you feel good, whatever that means to you specifically. Maybe that means going in your backyard, getting a bunch of pieces of wood and chopping it up with an axe. If that makes you feel good, freaking do it. Like whatever makes you feel good and gives you some sense of like, oh yeah, that felt good, I want to keep doing it. Painting, playing soccer in your backyard, dribbling around, giving yourself little obstacles, throwing a football with your buddies, quarantine buddies, don't spread shit. Or, maybe it's, we can get a little TMI, maybe it's masturbating. Go off, sis, do you. Make yourself feel good. Like, do whatever makes you feel good. There's no shame in that, and there shouldn't be. Do whatever makes you feel good. That is a big part of self-care. Maybe that's sitting in a bathtub with a bath bomb and a face mask and a good book. That sounds like lovely to me. So whatever feeling good looks like to you, do that. And try to do that at least on a every few day basis. Try to do it every day if you can. Find time to do those things that make you feel good. But that is like probably should be honestly number 1 is do things that make you feel good. This is a time in life where a lot of people, want to go into panic or want to go into a depression or want to be anxious, and that's just naturally where our brains go. But see it as a blessing in disguise. See the silver lining. Recognize that this is a time where, if you were like always wanting to write a book, now you have the time, so write it. If you always wanted to have the time to I don't even know. Start a business like me. Start a business. Start watching content or reading about that. Read books. Good Lord. If you like reading, please read. This is such a good time to read. I know I haven't created enough time for reading, but that is definitely, especially moving into week 2 of quarantine, I want to read so much. I want to absorb all the content. Watch YouTube videos if that's what makes you happy. But do something, you know, that you don't normally get to do because you're busy and you got shit going on, you got work, you got life, whatever. Do something that makes you feel good, that makes you happy, genuinely. Not something that you have always said that made you happy that you really don't like. Like, do something that makes you happy, that really genuinely, like, you get fully absorbed in, you're not paying attention to anything else, and you're just like living in that moment and doing something that makes you genuinely, authentically happy. Do that. And those are my main tips. I could go on rants about self-care all freaking day, because there's so many different outlets and ways for you to care for yourself and to create that time and space. But not to get on a negative note, but I just want to remind everybody that the #1 killer in the US, in the world, I'm pretty sure, is stress. Stress, for real. So this is a good time to de-stress. This is a good time that, you know, you don't have to stress about all the crazy things because you get to just be home with your family, with your cats, with your dogs, with your hamster, whoever, and really get to have that time to reflect, have that time to recharge. So see the silver lining. I urge you to, you know, pick up some of these tips and really take care of yourself right now, because it's very easy to get sucked up in everything and get really anxious and worried, and that's not going to do anyone any good. Just so, for me, I have to keep reminding myself it's one day at a time, but also, you know, we are in a time in the world where everybody is sitting at home and trying to think of things to do. Everyone's sitting at home trying to not worry and trying to not be on social media so much. So these are some things that'll kind of pull you out of your phone, pull you out of Instagram, ground you, and remind yourself that, you know, it's not so bad and it's gonna be okay. And we're all in this together. So here, this is me pushing love, giving you love, and I hope you give your family love, give your friends love, check in on each other, make sure everybody's doing okay, make sure everyone has everything they need. In Ohio anyways, with our shelter in place, you are allowed to, you know, go bring someone food or go bring someone medicine. So make sure your family's doing okay, make sure your friends are doing okay, check in on everybody, but don't make that, you know, overwhelm yourself. You know, make sure you're checking in on you. Most importantly, make sure you're checking in on you and make sure you're okay. Because if you're not doing okay, then you're not going to be able to take care of anyone else. And we really got to be there for each other right now. Be there for ourselves. So yeah, those are my self-care tips for being in quarantine. Wash your fucking hands. And bye, my loves.